Good evening, it's Chloe Digestive Show. Hope you guys are fine. Today I'll be talking on something that many women have been going through, trauma women have been actually going through in their marriages and their relationships, but they simply cannot get out of that relationship just because of the word in quotes. What will people say? This saying has led many couples to their early grave for the fear of what will people say, especially women who are, like, for example, the first lady. Maybe your husband is a pastor, or you are a counselor, or you're somebody's you are somebody rich. You're the wife of a very rich man, a very popular star. You are like, I can't leave this marriage because of what will people actually say if I leave this marriage. And if you notice, this set of women are the ones patronizing all the cosmetics in the market. Some of them have bruises on their face, on their arms, on their body. They have to cover up with cosmetics. They are now frequent cosmetic clients in the market, not for beauty but to cover up their scars, for fear of what will people actually say. They have to leave, they have to stay in that marriage despite all the torments. They now condole with a man who now sleeps with anything in skirts. Their husbands now sleep with anything in skirt, yet they are quiet. They can't confront him because of they are scared of what will people actually say. Can you imagine that? Now there are frequent patients in the hospitals. Doctors now know these women as frequent clients. When they see, oh madam, is it the you might take her straight to the emergency center, because they know there are bruises. You came because you have bruises that have to be treated out of the beating your husband must have given to you. You now move from one hospital to another because of what? Marriage, for fear of the what will people actually say. You are now being disciplined at home by your husband like a baby, like an animal, but you can't say anything for fear of what will people actually think or say. They now sleep in different bedrooms, though they are husband and wives. She now has to sleep in the guest room, maybe at times in the kitchen, on the floor, outside perhaps, but yet she still stays in the marriage for fear of what will people actually say. She has to still stay in the marriage. She has to be a good example to the public, not to talk of if she is a pastor's wife. She has to be in that marriage because her husband preaches against divorce. She is a counselor. She talks about marriage being an almost perfect environment where you ought to find peace, but yet she can't move out for fear of what will people actually say if she actually leaves that marriage. Their husbands now threaten them of giving them a divorce letter if they don't do this or do that, but yet they are scared of receiving such a notice because of what will people actually say. She now screams each day with a cloth on her mouth because she can't let her voice go out of her bedroom, out of her window. The neighbors might get her voice, her pain, her trauma, for fear of what will people actually say. She is now or frequent victim of armed robbery, bike accident, motor accident, house accident. Oh my God, for fear of what will people actually say. What will people say if they find out it is out of the beating? It is because of the beating her husband gave her. That is why she's crippling. That's why she is having the blister. She has to say she had an accident for fear of what will people think or say. All her siblings are divorced. She can't leave her home. She can't leave her husband because of what will people actually say or think of her or her family. She has to keep the family name. She now sheds tears like a baby each blessing day just because she can't have her kids in the hands of a beast. She can't leave her kids in the hands of a beast. She just has to take the torment because of what will people say. What will her kids say? She is constantly raped by a man she calls her husband. She now cares. She looks a man she looks up to show her so much love and care, but yet she receives a lot of bitterness from this man, but yet she stays in that marriage for fear of what will people say, hoping and praying and wishing that someday this man might actually change. You slept with her sister, the neighbors, her friends, colleagues, and yet she says nothing for fear of what will people actually say. Excuse me. After all this, the husband now returns from work from her mistress and then encounter an accident and he becomes crippled. The mistress now abandons him and catch up with the next victim, and he is left alone with you, the wife, moving from one hospital to another, seeking for medical attention, medical advice on how to heal your husband, moving from one temple to another, seeking for the face of the Lord, for healing mercy on this man who has done nothing, who has shown nothing but bitterness towards you, for fear of what will people actually say. So because you lost your mother, because your father was harsh to your mother, she left you, she left the marriage, and you were left in the hands of a stepmother who brought you up in the way that you didn't love. Now you are battering with your another man's daughter, your own wife, the mother of your own children. You can't show her love because you were not given love by your own mother. Is that correct? Is that right? I think it is very, very wrong as a man to pour out your pain on your wife. Rather, why don't you show her love rather than pain, so that incident, that hatred can go out of you and will not transfer to your own children? How will you sit at your retirement age, seeing your daughter going through such agony, pain from another man call her husband? Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. You know you can't even talk in matters like this because you are the elder brother to such an act, while the husband is just a junior brother to such bitterness. You can't even say anything because you are worse than the husband. Marriage, oh marriage, till they do us part. Those are the words we took at the altars, the vows we made at the altars. We decided we will end up together in love, in peace. Or you have to decide if you will end up being divorced. death, or in jail. Life is all about choices. Choose wisely, for at the end, always know that life is very, very important. And no one, I mean no one, has the right to make you feel or treat you less than you deserve to be treated. For the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself, not love your neighbor more than yourself. Remember, the number one principle I will give to you is to always love yourself. Cherish yourself. Admire yourself, for you deserve it. When you love yourself, despite how people talk down on you, be it your husband, because you love yourself, you won't let it into your head, into your skin. Keep glowing and keep growing. It was Glow Digestive Show for you, and I will always be there for you. Do not stay with the words, what will people say? Rather, stay with the words, what do I think of myself? How do I think of myself? How do I see myself? Stay blessed. Love you guys.